Husky fans, welcome into episode number 6 of the NIU Basketball Weekly Show. I am Andy Garcia, glad to be with you again. And NIU women's basketball on a winning streak. NIU men's basketball back on the court. Great to see them get some action in. We'll talk to interim head coach Lamar Chapman about what has happened this past week and also look forward to next week. Women's basketball this week, Asia Davis, the sophomore from DeKalb, is going to join us, coming off a huge double-double versus Buffalo at home. Husky women on a 5-game winning streak. They got some big ones coming up. We'll talk to Asia Davis about that. And then we're going to talk a little women's golf. Kim Kester, head coach of women's golf at NIU, now in her 9th season. They've gotten off to a nice start to their season. We will talk to her about that. But first things first, let's bring in interim head coach, men's basketball, Lamar Chapman, joins me now on NIU Basketball Weekly. And Coach, good to get you on and good to see you guys back on the court, able to get 2 games in last week against Kent State and Akron. Not the way we wanted it to go overall, but there were some positives that came out of first getting on the court, but also just getting out there and playing some games.
Yeah, it was good to be back with the guys and finally get a full complement of players back with everything that was going on. One that we learned a lot, made it through, played better the second game than the first, and hopefully we have some carryover to this Saturday. But yeah, good to get back, be around the guys on a daily basis in the gym, weight room, just being able to touch them again. So.
And you guys took on 2 really good teams in Kent State and Akron, and I heard you talk after the game on both that, again, some positives. You're coming back and taking on those 2 teams. That's not easy to do, especially going on the road.
Yeah, you come off of 4 weeks without playing and touching the ball. And I told the guys interviewing before the game, I wasn't sure what we would look like on offense. And I knew we would have our struggles offensively. Some of our shots, didn't fall, our free throws, our rebounds, even our shot selection. And that's on us. And, sharing the ball, all those things we talked about, but also thought we turned around, had 2 good days of prep down there. And we played better. We showed signs, obviously, you want to win the game. But I think we played better overall for full 40 minutes.
I think you guys, as you mentioned, shooting the ball and the 3-point shooting, you guys shot the ball better, and you guys are shooting the ball better as of late. And it seems like you guys are getting some momentum, knocking down shots.
Yeah, we are, and I think it was, I think it was just a matter of finding an open guy, and we showed a lot of clips against Kent State where guys were open, and the guy taking a shot had 2 or 3 guys clinging to him, and. So it's just a shot selection thing. And also those next 2 days, we got up a ton of shots at Kent and at Akron. Those 2 days, I believe that was Sunday and Monday. But we did do a lot of shooting. Try to get as much as game speed as you can, the game type intensity with the drills or just catch and shoot stuff. So just a lot of reps of shooting the ball.
And you guys were on the road. You stayed on the road after the Kent State game to go play Akron. Nice to be together. It's been a long time since you guys been able to stay together. Maybe a little unity. Just, again, you guys have gone through a lot this year to maybe just be by yourselves on the road, still have some scholastics, but to be together, it could help a little bit, correct?
Yeah, you get some bonding done. It's a lot of eating, a lot of hanging around at the study table. We did a lot of film sessions. But, we've been on the road. Like, ever since I took over, we played 6 games. 5 have been on the road against all the top teams. Everybody that we've played are in the top 8, top 6 or 7 that's in play for the tournament. So tough league, a lot of tough teams, good teams on the road. But looking forward to being back home on Saturday.
Zulqueth has had a couple of good games, coming off a nice game at Akron. He's shooting the ball well, shooting the 3-ball really well. He continues to seem to gain some confidence in his shot.
Yeah, it's and I tell people all the time, like, Zul's a worker. He had his struggles early on, definitely in practice, where it seemed like he couldn't buy a bucket, but didn't stop him from coming early, staying late from shooting. We never discouraged him from shooting. Everybody was like, shoot it, you're open, shoot it, So feel comfortable, you feel good about it, shoot the ball. He's a shooter. So you're seeing some of the payoff. His confidence is back. And he's just getting reps. It's no secret to it. Like, you got to put the time in, or you got to, some coaches and managers get out there and rebound for you and pass you the ball. Then you find time to get shots.
But moving from that community college, Pratt, where he came from, to getting into D1, it takes a little bit of time. And again, as you said, he's put more time in the arena. He's done that in the gym, and it's paying off. And again, he's a guy that you can count on if you need to take a good shot and knock down the shot.
Yeah, he stretches the defense. He try to open some driving lanes up for guys who want to put the ball on drive, because guys are, they're afraid to help off 12, or now they're just starting to switch. It's better to have somebody guarding them than nobody. So you switch in, if it's a mismatch or cross match on the defense, you try to take advantage of it offensively. But yeah, teams are scheming for him a little bit now when he comes in the game, because now he has their reputation, because he's been shooting the ball well.
Had the chance to talk to Tyler Cochran last week on the show. A humble guy, a guy that wants to win. Again, this team has had to go through a lot of things, and he's had to get through a lot of things, injuries, other things this season. But he's come back and he's scoring, he's rebounding, and really he's the number one priority, I believe, on another opponent. They got to shut down TC. You guys, what have you seen from Tyler? The last, I don't know, you guys been together last month or so, but this past week he had some good games.
Yeah, I mean, and Tyler's, I was expecting him to have a big sophomore season to begin with. He's so versatile. If he ever gets consistent shooting the ball and he's putting the time in, and he's not comfortable with that yet. But everything else, the driving, obviously the offensive rebounding, the playmaking ability he has. Now he's stepping up and trying to, be more consistent at the free throw line. And but he's not going to cheat you on effort. He's not going to cheat you on effort. He's going to try to, defend the right way. Still got to get him away from that reaching from time to time. That's a hard habit for him to break. But obviously good to have him back at full strength, 100%. He just does so much for your team.
And Trenton Hankerson has scored double digits most games this year. What have you seen from Trenton as of late, and especially these last two games?
Yeah, sometimes I think Trenton is pressing. He's putting the time in. And sometimes I think he's pressing a little bit, and I just told him, calm down, let it happen, let it come to you. Every once in a while, you might have to pass on one of those and get it back the next time. But Trent is a worker. He's a smart kid. He watches film. He accepts coaching. So that's an easy fix. That's nothing major there. But he's down on his numbers. He's down on his free throw numbers. He's down on his field goal percentage numbers. So he takes pride in that. So I expect him to be in the gym today, shoot later, and just get as many shots as he can leading into Saturday against Miami.
But you bring up a great point, Coach, because not just you and your team, but everyone, you just don't know how many games you're going to get. So sometimes you can get out there and I got to play well today because I just don't know what games we're going to play tomorrow or this day. That's got to be a mental side of it for you as a coach to try to just, hey, guys, relax. We don't know what's going to happen. Don't try to do too much. Just do what you can do, and then we'll find out what happens.
Yeah, because then sometimes you get those guys and they want to show and let everybody know they've been in the gym working on a game. They wanted to equal to like points and production in a game. And I get that, been around basketball a long time, but sometimes you have to pass up one or two every now and then and, let it come back and then, make the next one or take the next shot.
Defensively, would you see your team this past week? And again, there was a huge differential in free throws. And again, fans will look at that and say, come on, what happened? But you mentioned it too. You talked about on the defense side, you can't reach. You got to play good defense because sometimes the officials, they're going to blow out that team that's more aggressive.
Yeah, I told the official, and I see it every day in practice, and it's an ongoing thing. We're not nearly as good defensively this year as we were last year. We foul. I see it every day in practice, and I tell the guys that we foul a lot. Now, do I think it was the differential was supposed to be 37 to what we get 7? I don't agree with that.
Right.
But yeah, like our bigs get fouls because they're trying to help some of the guards, and then our bigs foul themselves because they're tired and not want to work for position, so they want to grab, hold, and push. So that's on us. That's on me. We'll try to fix those things in the next 2 days going into Saturday's game against Miami.
You mentioned the bigs. I want to bring them up because Kingsley Akanu's coming off a nice game at Akron, and we've seen Adong have some good games and is getting quality minutes. What have you seen from your low post players?
I think when we first started, and my because I work with the bigs, I was always saying, okay, with those two guys sharing a 5 spot, can we get 16 and 10? Can we get 16 and 12 from those two guys at that spot? Lacey and Noah was at like 14 and something combined. So can we get 15 or 16 points from our 5 spot? And I think lately we have. They both bring something different to the table. Now, I don't like the fact that they both fouled out in a short period of time the other night because, like you said, Chinadu, he was doing a good job following up offensive rebounds, scored in the post a little bit, knocked down a jump shot. And Adon, the same thing. Like Adon can be effective in there when he's healthy, when he's fresh, and the knees aren't bothering him. So I like the post spot for those two guys at the 5 lately. I was just like less fouling.
But Coach, we get going again and continue to schedule. Doesn't stop. You're able to get 2 more games in this week. You played 2 games last week. So at least you're in that flow. At least we're playing games and at least fans get to see what you guys are doing.
Right. And that's the whole thing, just being off and missing the games that you miss. And, people don't understand, like being off for 4 weeks, that's a long time. And then, as we mentioned before, the gauntlet of the schedule, you go play the number 2 and the number 3 teams, or number 3 and number 2 teams respectively on the road. But again, good effort from my guys on Tuesday night. Look to bounce back. But again, you're back playing. You're seeing your guys every day. You're in the gym, in the weight room. You walk over there and see them in study hall. So it's good. It's good to be back in some sense of normalcy with us around here in athletics.
Looking forward to the next 2 games, Coach. I appreciate the time and good luck upcoming in the schedule.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
From Lamar Chapman of men's basketball, we move to women's basketball, and Asia Davis, the sophomore forward from right here in DeKalb, joins us now on NIU Basketball Weekly. Asia, great to get you on, and congratulations on you guys, the success you guys are having, a 5-game winning streak. You guys are really playing well. You guys seem to be playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of credit to the coaches for preparing us.
But, hey, 9 of your last 10. You won 5 in a row. What is it, Asia? Is it just you guys are shooting the ball well? Are you guys playing well as a team? Or something's clicking on the offensive side or defensively? But what is it for you? What have you seen?
I think that we are starting to play like ourselves and what we're capable of. I know a lot of teams in the MAC know that we have an inside presence now, so that takes a lot of pressure off the guards when they kick it in. And then if I'm getting doubled, I can kick it back out to them. So the inside-outside presence has really been great for us.
So far, you're averaging 10 points, 8.1 rebounds per game. But as you said, as of late, you've been improving. You've been playing better. What has it been about the last couple of games that you felt confident about your game?
I would just say getting in the gym and working harder. Definitely a credit to Adam. We definitely watched some film on me, and I wasn't shooting the ball well early last week, and just went back to watch those clips. It wasn't really anything they were doing. It was how the ball was coming off my hand. So,
what's your mindset? You're posting up, right? You're down low. You're trying to get position. They're giving you elbows. You're pushing you around. It doesn't get called. I get it. It's called playing inside. But what's your mentality? What's your thought? Okay, I'm posting up. I just want to get my position in here. I want to make sure I want to go to my right, my left, because you can go either way. What's your mindset when you start on the offensive side?
I don't know. A lot of post players don't think I can move as quick as them. So I try to use my speed and my body position to get around them and score the ball.
I know you've been working on your free throws. I know, and we've talked in the past, that you were a good free throw shooter. And I know it wasn't up to what you wanted to last year. You've worked really hard on that, and we've shown when you've gotten to the line, you've made teams punish you because now they can't put you to the free throw line and, okay, maybe she'll make 1 or 2. You're knocking down free throws. And I know you've got confidence in that shot as well right now.
Yeah, for sure. Every day after practice, I'm shooting at least 50 makes. So I'm prepared and, ready to knock those down when it comes to game time.
So you've got some NIU tradition in you. Your mom, Orlando, played women's basketball from 95 to 97. Your dad, Luke Davis Jr., played football. So were you going to go to NIU no matter what? If they put that much pressure on you, like if you got a chance, you're going. And you grew up in DeKalb, and then you went down the Montverde Academy in Florida after your freshman year. But did you want to be a Huskie for a long time, or how did that work out?
I think the Huskie blood was always. It's always been in my system. So it was definitely a possibility. I think once I went down to Florida and saw how it would have been if I was in college, Montverde was definitely the college-like atmosphere. So it definitely prepared me and showed me that I needed my mom to be at the games. I needed my family to be there at the games for support. And I think if I didn't go to Montverde and get that experience, I would really be struggling in college now. So
expand on that, to go into an academy like that, because we've seen players do that, Asia. is it more because there's some fantastic players down there? So is it the competition? Is it, as you said, just getting away from home and having that college life before? What's been good positives going down to that academy?
I think all of it. The competition every day, you're competing for a spot on the floor. You're competing because you want to be there. There's a lot of girls, there's a lot of guys that would love to have the opportunity. So, yeah, the competition was legit. The atmosphere, the how the teachers treated you was legit. Like it truly prepared me for college.
And the weather's not bad. I grew up
Oh
in
no.
Florida. You know, especially what we got now. To
Yeah.
be down there, it's not too bad. But does your mom go back and just tell you stories how she scored double doubles? I mean, how do those stories go back and forth? What does she say about her game?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I don't know, a lot of people know, but me and my mom, after every game, I'll come home and rewatch the games with her. And she really breaks down my game, things that I could have done better, tells me what she would have done. Yeah, she's not cocky at all. So she'll tell me what she would have done and what she scored, but she's still there supporting me, helping me learn to be a better basketball player. So
Any video of her from NIU or anything like that, or she just
oh
tells you?
yeah. Oh yeah. She
Oh, really?
shows me. Yeah.
And then your dad's background, being a football player, what has that helped you with? You know, a guy who, again, plays at a high level, competition. How has he helped you in your athletic career?
Believe it or not, my dad is the more soft one towards me. So mom's always going in on my head, but my dad's there to, it's just okay. It's just to be there for me. He's definitely the softer parent, but I think it's a even balance. Like they know what their job is to, prepare me for life outside of basketball and basketball. So yeah.
I want to get your opinion because it was great to see your mom at the game last Saturday as you guys took on Buffalo, and she was so proud of you. And we'll get to the 17 and 19 game, but it was good to see her in the stands. How important has it been? You guys have played in some quiet arenas, just with everything going on with the pandemic. But how great was it to have fans back at home at the Convocation Center?
It felt great. I know, like you said, we've definitely had a couple games on the road where family was there, but to look in the stands and see the red, white, and black and our families, familiar faces, it was definitely like heart touching. So
Let's go back to Buffalo, because 17 points, 19 rebounds. That is not easy to do. Now, you cheated a little bit, all right? I saw you miss a couple of layups just to get those rebounds, all right? You cheated a little bit, but okay. No, I'm just playing. No, that's a strong 17 and 19 game. What do you think, and what do you look back? Your mom had to be really proud when you go back to that film and say, oh, my goodness,
yeah.
that type of double-double. That was impressive against a very good Buffalo team.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, I did cheat a little bit. I was missing a couple layups, but I watched a lot of film, especially their post defense. Again, we played Ball State that Monday. I didn't score the ball well. My percentage was real bad. So I just went back to see how their post players would play me and take what I was given. A lot of times I feel like I predetermined my move. So that's like a big adjustment that I'm gonna make. Yeah, so I just watched a lot of their clips on defense to see what they would give me and things like that.
Broadcasters always say, oh, there's a big jump from the freshman to the sophomore year. We don't know. You are playing. How big was the jump? How much did you learn as a freshman D1 and what you've used now in your sophomore year?
Oh yeah, it really truly was a big jump. I got to watch a lot. And then when I did go in, I felt like I wasn't producing what I was used to. So just going back and watching film, staying confident, a lot of credit to my coaches for helping me stay confident. I know a lot of freshmen probably have this problem where not playing, things like that, but definitely had a lot of talks with Coach Carlson and Adam to just build my confidence and be prepared for the upcoming seasons because they knew and I knew that I would need to step my game up if we want to win some ball games.
So I want to go back to the road trip. You guys did the white lie t-shirt, okay? And you said on your t-shirt that you like refs. And I know you and me are from the same cloth. We don't like refs. Now, we say we like them because they make the calls. And I know you get frustrated sometimes, but how do you battle through that? As a player, maybe calls aren't going your way. Maybe they're missing some things, or you're getting called for a ticky-tack foul, and maybe somebody else is getting a little more on you and they're not getting called. How do you keep the steady line, the composure to continue, and just as Coach Tandez always says, and I hear him scream it, next play, next play. How do you continue that next play when things may not be going your way?
I think that statement is embedded in my head because as soon as I get a foul call or it's not going my way, I'm just like, next play, nothing I can do about it. And then a lot of times Michaela really be like, hey, it's just okay. Next play, you got the next one. Like just basically giving me encouragement to say, I don't really show a lot of emotion. So when I do, they know. Like, so they'll come over and like, Asia,
Yeah. I know you're only a sophomore, so I don't want to go too jump ahead, but I've heard you talk that aspirations are wanting to play professional basketball in the future. And I know you're working hard for that. And again, only a sophomore, you've got a couple of years, but is that what you want to do? Is that a goal in your life? You want to play professional basketball?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I've put a lot of time and effort, and my other coaches have put a lot of time and effort into me. And I just feel like that would be a way for me to go back and show that all that they have done was well worth it, and all the time and effort that I put in was well worth it. It's definitely a dream.
It's a busy week. You're playing Kent State Saturday and Sunday, and then you got Ball State at home on Wednesday. Good to be home for those games. But what's the mindset of you? What's the mindset of the team as we get ready for a busy week?
The mindset stays the same, one game at a time. Go and do what you're capable of doing and win.
Your mom's very good to me. All right. She listens a lot, as you told me. She brought me Valentine's Day candy. You brought it off from the locker room. I talked to her after the game. She said we couldn't leave you out. And I get the feeling that that's kind of where you come from. That's like your family's such set, like you're looking out for everybody. And I think that's pretty cool. A great family background. And we've seen in Asia where you guys have, or you have been so positive and you playing so well and the team's playing well. It's just fun to be around you guys, but it's got to be even more fun when you guys step on the court and you have the belief that we're going to win these next 40 minutes. That's got to be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Tell your mom I said hello. Tell your dad I said hello. And tell your dad, I know he's the softer one, but your mom's hard enough on you. I appreciate it. It was fun to talk to you, and let's get some games this weekend and move forward and see what we can do.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Andy.
From one program that has been winning to another program that has started out really well with their schedule, and that's women's golf. And we bring in the head coach, Kim Kester, now in her 9th season. And Coach, it's great to get you on, and not a bad way to start out the season. You win in Florida. No better way to start out like that.
No, it was pretty amazing. I mean, if you would have asked me, or if you did ask me weeks leading up to it, did I think we'd come in that hot? I probably would have said no, just because of the unknown. We haven't competed since last March. So pretty special week for sure for the ladies.
So we'll get into that tournament, but first things first, I want to go back because as you said, it's been a long time. Go back to March where you guys played a tournament. What's the program been like? What do you guys had to go through from what happened last year to get to where you are now in 2021?
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, but, everybody's in the same boat in a sense. So you got to make the best of the situation. You can either wake up feeling bad for yourself or wake up and it's a new day to get better. And that's what these ladies have done. We try to keep it as fun as possible since we knew there's no fall tournaments, team tournaments. So we did some stuff within the program. We did a competition with the men's program as well. So just make it as fun as possible. But we know the end goal is that MAC championship. And what are we doing right now to get us to that goal? And just changing things up, every day as best as we can and just grind away.
What are some of the different protocols that you had to go through? We'll talk about the tournament in Florida, but what protocols overall as you get back to competition, and what was different down in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, we went to a pod system. The tournament, we were all playing together. So we traveled 6 players, 2 coaches. So Andrew, our associate head coach, he had 3 players. I had 3 players, and that was our pod for the week. Those 3 players roomed together. The 3 in my pod, those 3 roomed together. And they were in a rental car together in one pod. The other pod was in the other rental car. So they're already close friends, but they were even closer after that. And they spent a lot of time with each other. And that's something we normally don't do, is that pod system. And we had to go for it for that event. And we're nervous a little bit how it would work out, but it worked out great for us.
So is that just for Florida tournaments, or could you see something like that moving forward with the rest of the schedule?
Yeah, we'll do the pod system for the most part with rental cars, because we typically do 2 cars anyways with 2 coaches. So we'll move it forward to that, and then rooming will be that same way. we don't know event-wise if they're going to have us all play as a 5-some or a 6-some, or if we're going to be paired with other teams. So it just depends on the tournament, but in some way, shape, or form, we'll keep going with the pod system as best as we can.
Let's talk about the roster and what you have, because it seems like it's pretty deep, is what we've seen so far.
Yeah, for sure. This is probably the deepest roster we've had since I started here a little over 9 years ago. So top to bottom, we had Soph coming back and Lay coming back their senior years. Soph will take the COVID year, come back next year, but Lauren will be done at this year. She's a nursing major, so she's doing a lot of work right now with academics and athletics. But it's great to know that any week it could be somebody different in the lineup, and we know what we're going to get with every single player on the roster.
So you set a couple school records, team perspective, lowest 18, lowest 36, lowest 54. That doesn't happen when you don't have, as you talked about, the depth, but you've got to get 4 good scores every round. And it seemed like you guys were just on.
Yeah, it was, they didn't have live scoring during the entire event, really. And then the last day they did it after 9 holes. And Andrew and his group were in front of me, and we were right behind. And we make the turn, and we see the teams ahead of us that they posted score, their 9 holes. And we're a few shots back, and he and I are messaging each other after every hole, like, all right, here's what my group did, here's what your group did. And we both said to each other, like, hey, man, we got to have a huge back 9, but let's do it. Anything's possible. And we're moseying along, and we're just getting birdie after birdie. And I'm like, all right, this is looking really good. And then he's on 18, and 18's a par 5, reachable in 2. And I get on the tee, and I have a message. He goes, we're 2 back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Pressure's on now. Let's go. And our group hit great drives, and I get up to the green. I'm like, all right, so we're 2 back. Like, how aggressive do we got to play? He's like, no, we're 1 up now, I think, with Mike. We're doing all this quick as possible. And 2 of the girls in my group that were scorers made birdie, and we ended up winning by 4. And in our last 3 holes, our 4 counters had 6 birdies, which is pretty impressive, because that's where most team has a tendency to kind of gas out by them, but it showed us that they were just all in and ready to go as low as possible. So it was an exciting last day for sure.
Did you just feel something when you guys went down there? Did you feel like, maybe we could get this one? Maybe this is how we can start up the season. You talked about the depth, but did you have a little bit of an inkling that this could happen?
Yeah, I mean, I know these girls they're ready to play. You just don't know how it's going to be coming out of the winter and not playing a competitive event since last March. So we knew we had the talent. This course we've seen before, but it was in a match play form. And Andrew and I always talk like, how would we do on a stroke play? Well, we saw how we did, and we were pretty excited about it, but there was definitely a different vibe, a lot more excitement. And I think all of us, I can't speak for everybody else, but I mean, we all felt nerves that first day, but they quickly moved on, and we knew what we had to do, and we just put the pedal to the metal and went to work.
Seemed like there was a competition within the competition, like the 2 pods for you guys. Was there a little bit like, hey, we just birdied this one, or what do you guys do? It seemed like the texting was going back and forth, a little bit of competition.
No, you always are like, all right, you don't want to be that one that lets everybody down in a sense. And I saw how well their pod was doing. And, for me, it's just like keep the positive vibes going to the group I was with. And, you can kind of see where to miss shots if you needed to and whatnot. But it definitely was a huge momentum booster knowing what the group ahead was doing and what was still left out there for us to do. But as coaches, we have to keep our nerves as smooth as possible, and so we couldn't really be like, oh, guess who just birdied, but it was fun, just hole after hole seeing birdies and whatnot that we're capable of going low.
Yeah, I want to go back to Lauren Engel because she tied a school record, 3 great rounds, 69, 70, 69 to finish second. And she's the one lone. You said she's not coming back, the senior, but she was MAC golfer the week after that tournament. Expand on her a little bit, because she's been so key to this program, and she had such a great start in the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Lay comes every day ready to go. She's got a lot on her plate with, nursing and clinicals now. So when we can get her at practice, it's always great. But, she's been so busy. So she was one that hadn't played since last March. So it was, how's it going to go? And the one thing with Lauren is she's always been consistent, and we know we can always count on her. When she has everything going, she's going to go low, and everything clicked for her that first day. And She played outstanding, and we know, that it's a bright future her last semester. And that's what we told her. It's like, this is it. You're done after this. We want this to be the best possible. Just give it your all. Just give us your all. And she's been doing that. And it's somebody to balance, the nursing major and being a student athlete is, they don't get enough credit for everything they do. She's constantly tired and, running around everywhere. And it was awesome to see that first event. And we know, the rest of spring that she's going to be ready to go, and we know what we can get out of her. It's always consistency.
Yeah, again, I want to bring up some other names in the roster. Two young players, a Jasmine, newcomer Karen Liu, and Jasmine Lee. I mean, you guys have some freshmen too, some youth that's also brought up some of the expectations as well.
For sure. When you have the lower part of your roster, your younger girls pushing those older girls. The older girls don't want to get out of the lineup, and the younger girls want in. So it's always an exciting time. Everybody's pushing each other, but the future's bright. We saw some great things out of Karen, her first event. Jasmine had a little bit of a tournament play last year, but then with COVID hitting, so which is kind of nice for her being, a freshman now, is she got her feet wet and now she knows what to expect. So. Right. Those first year jitters are gone, and she's going to be another one that you're going to see, pushing the top of the MAC players, maybe a MAC, golfer of the year, something like that in the years to come. So really excited about, all of them, but, especially the younger kids right now.
Let's talk more about the MAC. And again, you defeated several of the MAC teams down in Florida. We know who the big dog is in the MAC with Kent State. Can you go against them a little bit? Are there some teams that are at least going to give them an opportunity, a shot at going at them?
Yeah, I think so. We haven't seen them yet this year, but if we play the way we did in Florida, I mean, there's no reason we can't win it. Kent State's a great program. They have been. Lisa has done a great job with them. But it's, our girls are hungry for it, and that's what you want. And as we tell them, work as hard as you can every day. If come the MAC championship, you've given it your all, and that's the best you can do. We gave it a shot. Either win or lose. Hopefully it's on the winner side. But this group, if I could put money on it, this group is the one to do it. And after Florida, we know we're capable of doing it with shooting those low numbers.
It's such a great tournament in Florida, and you move forward in the schedule. And that's one good thing about golf. You can't play golf up here, so you can go some nice warmer locations. South Carolina, Kiowa, Iowans coming up, and Vegas, Utah. Again, if you need help, I can come along. I can do some radio. I can put some antennas up. We can make it work. If you need some help in Vegas, I missed the Florida trip, but I can move on some of these trips. But that's one thing about your sport. Yeah. That's a positive. You get to play in some nice warm weather places, some nice tournaments, some nice courses as well.
Absolutely. Going to Kiowa Island this coming weekend, it's one of those courses or, resorts that are on a lot of golfers' bucket list, dream list. And the fact that we get to take the team there, the support of all the donors that have helped us get there, it's pretty amazing. And it's definitely a great student athlete experience for them. And, Andrew and I were just looking at the weather earlier today, and we're like, all right, it's going to be 68, 69, 72, we'll be all right. This snow, it is what it is, but that's why we're in the north. We like this, but we can go south as well.
As we move forward in the schedule, what are some expectations? What are your thoughts as you guys had such good success down in Florida? Yep. How can you expand on that? How can you have that momentum move forward as you go through the schedule?
Yeah, for sure. Florida was great. As we said this past Monday, Florida's over. Now we're on to Kiowa. Kiowa has 43 teams in the event, which is going to be the biggest event we've ever played in. Right off the bat, if a top 10, top 5, obviously you want to win every event you can, but let's be realistic with we don't know who's all in it. So you shoot for the top, and you just kind of go from there. We're taking one event at a time. We have all these other ones that we have to compete in, but right now it's Kiowa, and we have a goal for the year to average 299 or below. We've never done that. So we kind of changed, how we're doing goals and stats this year and seeing if that actually gets us to the goal at hand. So right now we're under 299, which is great. We got a little bit of a cushion there, but we know we're going to have harder courses, harder events, weather that'll affect us moving forward throughout the year. So we want to win every event. If they give it their all at every single practice, every single event, and we know we'll have success, and that's all we can ask of them. And we want as many trophies as we possibly can. We want to give them to the admin, let them have it, and, shower their offices with some bling.
Well, first off, it's great to see you guys back on the course. It was way too long, and for you guys to come out and start the way you guys have done, it's great. Congratulations. I know you're just starting out. Continued success. Really looking forward to what you guys do this season.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and come join us on a trip. It'd be a lot of fun.
Listen, I got to go through some people, but I know Sean Frazier. I know the guy at the top.
Perfect.
Let me see what I can work on. But no, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I can, and just good luck.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
That was Kim Kester in her 9th season now with women's golf. A great way to start out the season that they had in Florida, getting ready to move forward. As we wrap things up, again, I want to highlight we've got a championship coming up. Wrestling has the MAC championships coming up in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. That's coming up on Friday, February 26th. So they finished 3rd last year. The first winter sport to compete in the championship. So looking forward. Hopefully wrestling can have a good start, or hopefully wrestling can have a good end and have some good results at the MAC championship. Other things coming up. We mentioned women's basketball with Asia Saturday and Sunday, taking on Kent State, 1 p.m. each day there. At 5 p.m. on Saturday, it's a doubleheader. Men's basketball taking on Miami. We've got teams on the road this week. Softball is down in Florida at the Florida International. Women's tennis is in Des Moines this week on Sunday. We've got women's soccer on Sunday, an exhibition taking on Marquette up in Milwaukee. Volleyball home on Thursday night. Back to women's basketball. They host on Wednesday night. They will host Ball State. And again, baseball continues the travels at Evansville next Friday. And we mentioned the wrestling and the men's soccer home on Friday, February 26th, taking on Chicago State. Volleyball home on Friday, taking on Miami. So we've got a lot of good action happening. And again, that's that time of year now where we've got a lot of the spring sports happening, a lot of the fall that was going to happen earlier. A reminder, the premieres of NIU Basketball Weekly right here on this YouTube channel, NIU Athletics. So subscribe, get all the latest highlights. You miss a broadcast of this or any highlights or press conferences right here on the YouTube channel, NIU Athletics. You can get it all. And don't forget to download the Huskie mobile app. It's free. Check out on the website, NIUHuskies.com, or just go on the Google Play Store or go on your iPhone and download the Huskie mobile app, and some fun stuff on there. Special thanks to Lamar Chapman, interim head coach men's basketball, and Asia Davis, the sophomore from DeKalb for women's basketball, and Kim Kester joining us from women's golf this week. Thank you for watching NIU Basketball Weekly. We've got one more show next week. Hopefully get some wins this week from all the programs. Until then, go Huskies.